Hello everyone, my name is Abdul Hakim. This is Evan, Darren, Marcus and Hashim. Today our group will be talking about consumer decision making process for a product.
Hakim will talk about the need recognition for a product. I will talk about the information search, while Darren will talk about the evaluation of alternative. Next, Marcus will discuss about the purchase decision, and finally, Hashim will discuss on the post-purchase behavior and the conclusion. After that, we will all talk about the recommendations.
The product that we will talk about today is the iPhone 7 Plus. It is very important to understand the consumer's behavior because if the organization fails to analyze the consumer behavior, the company will face losses.
Furthermore, different consumer has different attitudes towards a product. Our target market are people aged from 18 to 40, Generation Y, people who like to live a luxurious lifestyle, middle class and upper class, business people and explorers.
From this information, we hope that everyone would understand the importance of consumer decision-making process before purchasing any product, so that the product that the consumer buys is worth buying.
To fulfill the needs recognition of the consumer, we must refer to the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Firstly, why does the consumer need to buy a smartphone for their psychological needs? For example, smartphone can be used as an entertainment base to listen to music, watching video, playing games, and so on. This can fulfill the psychological needs of the consumer. Next, as our target market are business people, this means that their previous smartphones are vulnerable and can easily be hacked by a hacker. Thus, they need a smartphone that could ensure their safety needs are fulfilled to protect their personal information such as email, password, address, and so on. A smartphone that has a high security system are suitable for this target market. Furthermore, owning a smartphone can also fulfill the consumer needs, which is the social needs. The needs to communicate with other people can be fulfilled by a smartphone because we can call and message other person anywhere and anytime if we have a smartphone. The consumer might have a problem to contact other people before because they have no device that can help them. Other than that, smartphone also can fulfill the esteem need of the target market. Our target market like a life of luxury lifestyle, so this means that their status is very important to maintain. To fulfill these needs, the target market needs a smartphone that can prove the luxurious status. Finally, if all the needs are fulfilled, this shows that the self-actualization needs for the consumer are complete, which shows that the consumer are a very charismatic person that others can look up to.
In the information search stage, for a customer who want to purchase iPhone 7 Plus, the customer will search for some information. There are two types of information search, which is internal information search and external information search. For the internal information search, the consumer will do comparison between other phones based on their smartphone that previously experienced. Even the phone's features that can be recalled from the customer's memory can also be the way to do comparison. For example, Samsung, Nokia, and Vivo camera features. There are different pixels level between each camera photography. The customer will also go through the external information search, which the information comes over the internet, advertising, which it is stated as a public resources, and friends' experience, comments on different versions of smartphone, which it is also stated as a personal resources. They will obtain the knowledge from this external information in more details about iPhone 7 Plus. For example, the phone's characteristic and the operating system in iOS 10.0. Also, the information of iPhone 7 Plus will be more accurate and advanced in details due to the times that goes by. Based on the information above, a consumer will be much more easier to trigger to make further decisions, which comes to the next step, the evaluation of alternative step.
The third step would be the evaluation of alternatives. After the searching of information on products, consumers will be having some options to choose from after their search. There will be two levels for this step. First level would be the set of options of product types. In our case, for the iPhone 7 Plus would be the specifications of smartphones. The second level would be the multiple brands to choose from after a choice has been chosen for the first level. Marketers need to understand how consumers evaluate their product options and why some products are included while others are not. An important factor would be what criteria consumers are using in their selection and how each criterion is evaluated. It would be more effective if marketers know what benefits are most important to the consumers when selecting options such as bigger storage, screen size, and camera quality, and then determine the order of importance of each benefit. Customers' attitude and also their involvement will also be important factors whereby if the customer's attitude is positive, open-minded, and involvement is high, more options will be evaluated, but if it's the other way around, possibly only one brand would be evaluated. There are two involvement levels, high and low. Low involvement purchases are inexpensive and pose a low risk to buyers if they have mistakenly purchased the product, so buyers don't put much effort into researching or do not research at all. High involvement purchases are higher priced items that carries a high risk to buyers if they fail, but buyers tend to eliminate the risk by doing more research on their purchases. The iPhone 7 Plus will be categorized under the high involvement purchase because it is pricey. Also, with high involvement purchases, there's a chance of gaining and increasing brand loyalty. Gaining brand loyalty would likely be a buyer purchasing that particular brand for the first time and is satisfied of the product. For example, if a customer is satisfied with the iPhone 6 Plus, they will much likely buy the iPhone 7 Plus. Increasing brand loyalty would also be a buyer purchasing a new product or a product from a different product line from the same brand they used to purchase from. For example, if a customer is satisfied with his iPhone 7 Plus, they would buy an iPad. An evaluation table is prepared. The phones that will be compared to Apple iPhone 7 Plus will be the Samsung Galaxy Note 7, Google Pixel XL, HTC 10 Evo Bolt, and the Huawei P9. All these 5 phones have been released at the same season in 2016. The specifications that will be compared is the camera, storage, battery, and platform. The price of the phones will also be compared. As shown in the table, the price of the iPhone 7 Plus is the highest compared to the other phones. The camera comparison among the phones would show that the HTC 10 Evo Bolt is the best, but according to research, Apple processes their photos better even with a low megapixel. The lowest storage for all the phones are 32GB, which some comes in 64GB, 128GB, and 256GB. As for the battery life, although all phones have the average endurance rating of 75 hours, they last approximately a day with medium to high usage. Lastly, Apple is using a unique platform of their own, which is the iOS. It is user-friendly and also a more secured platform than Android, where you can get viruses and is more complicated to use.
After evaluating the alternatives, this is the step in which consumers make a decision on the product and where they are buying it, whether it is through online or local stores, and how are they going to purchase the product, such as by credit card, cash, or by monthly installments. In this case, the product is the iPhone 7 Plus. Factors influencing buying decisions are such as cultural factors, social factors, individual factors, and psychological factors. Under cultural factors, one of the components of culture is material artifacts. Material artifacts have changed over the past 2 decades as technological advances, causing many societies today to be said to have a wireless culture due to a mass usage of smartphones and laptops. Therefore, owning a smartphone is said to be a culture of the society that we live in today, which causes everyone to buy or own a smartphone, which might lead to the purchase decision made by some consumers. Secondly, social factors. The decision that may have helped the consumer in making this decision would be opinion from friends, opinion leaders, family members, or those who have used the iPhone 7 Plus before, as some people tend to be influenced by the opinion of others. The third factor would be individual factor. The individual factors would be personality, self-concept, and lifestyle of the consumer. The decision that has been made to buy the iPhone 7 Plus could be from brand awareness or past experience individually from the consumer in helping him or her to come to this decision. Other sources which the consumer might have gained information about the product would be from the internet or salesperson, where the consumer can search or ask about information on the iPhone 7 Plus to make sure that the product meets the requirement or expectations. The last factor which influences the purchase decision would be psychological factors. This is where perception and motivation comes into motion, which determines what the consumer perceives the iPhone 7 Plus can do for him or her, and how buying the iPhone 7 Plus can fulfill some kind of need. In the purchasing decision step, where consumers actually want to buy the product, there can be unexpected circumstances which will lead to the postponement of the purchase, such as the item intended is out of stock, like the color of the iPhone 7 Plus that the consumer intended or preferred is not available, or that the consumer's reference group takes a negative view on the purchase by suggesting that other phones are better. This is where marketers of the iPhone 7 Plus must make sure that the transaction goes smoothly and prevent consumers from abandoning the purchase by removing their doubts with sufficient information or giving them guarantee or incentives for the iPhone 7 Plus.
This step will exhibit consumers' post-purchase behavior, in particular to their feelings regarding the purchase of iPhone 7 Plus and how this could furthermore impact their next purchase. Cognitive dissonance is a common experience that purchasing a product, and then numerous reasons could affect consumers' satisfaction or dissatisfaction. So we're going to look at for the satisfaction first. For the satisfaction, it is the customer experience. This is the way to win over new prospects, keeping existing clients and build a business that flourishes well into the future, because Apple doesn't sell computers or phones, they sell experiences. Another tool is very important, and then it is social media tool that gives them the power to spread information about products and service. One opinion can be seen by thousands of people across Twitter, Facebook, social networking apps like LinkedIn and other websites. Furthermore, customers have the power of choice. Powerful shopping engines give them information about the best products based on price and customer reviews. So it's pretty much like consumers can go online and then they can review the product that would enhance their thinking process, and then the overview reasons could might a consumer dissatisfied with the product. And it starts off with, as widely rumored, Apple has removed the 3.5mm headphone jack from its new iPhone 7 Plus, and this means users won't be able to use their existing 3.5mm headphones with the new handset till they use the Lightning 3.5mm adapter. So no major differences in the design as well. Both iPhone and iPhone 7 Plus sport the same design as their predecessors. So no major improvements in battery as well. This is some of the dissatisfaction that consumers had. The new phones will look almost identical to the last year's screen, iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, so probably we call the 6S and 6 Plus S. Apple works in 2-year TikTok cycles, and last year's bigger screens were the more dramatic take. To conclude, owning a smartphone can be one of the wants for a consumer to fulfill the social needs as recognition to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And decision making is about making the best or right choice, which consumers make by considering factors such as by dividing, comparing, or other products in mind, or by gaining opinions from others while evaluating all the possible alternatives. Other factors that influence buyer decision making would be factors such as cultural factors, social factors, individual factors, and psychological factors. Likewise, that will endeavor consumers' post-purchase behavior. All these 5 steps carry a great significance in creating an integral part of decision making and providing the consumers with added value in making the right choices. And indeed, smartphone is invariably essential to make the daily life easier. So smartphones have made people smarter by organizing their lives with a single device and providing access to the worldwide information at the fingertips. So why not iPhone 7 Plus?
Starting off with the recommendation for the 5 steps. For step 1 is to innovate the product to suit the consumer needs and one based on the consumer needs recognition.
For step 2, the buyers of iPhone 7 Plus can give more information through the public resources, for example, advertising which can illustrate in YouTube or provide more information and gain more attention for the people.
For step 3's recommendation, marketers can provide a table of product and brand comparisons for consumers to understand more about the product and brands at ease.
For step 4, the recommendations would be that marketers could offer some freebies such as screen protectors or casings for the consumers.
And lastly, for the recommendation for step 5, marketeers can communicate and gain feedback from the consumers who purchase the iPhone 7 Plus to gain information whether they are satisfied or unsatisfied with the product by offering some solution to eliminate or reduce the dissonance.